Alright, we are going to give this voice recorder a try. Bear with me, folks. I generally am better at typing stuff out than talking, but we'll give it a shot. So this leaves us off about where we were yesterday. Basically, she is not wanting to focus and is just in general being a butthead about putting her head down and stuff that I know that she does know. Like I said, I've had this horse for about 4 years. That didn't look too bad right there. She's being forward enough. But yeah, I've had her for about 4 years, and she's pretty feral when I got her. Bit, kicked, threw temper tantrums. In general, it's just fairly disrespectful. Probably the reason that I could afford her. She ended up getting returned to a sale barn. I got her for peanuts. Well, she was lame and had a hell of a respiratory infection. It took me a few months to get her to stop bucking, but she did end up pulling it off. And this is looking pretty decent right here as well. That last section there. She's very forward today for her. Normally I have to work a lot harder to even get this momentum. I'm honestly pretty pleased with the past minute or so of this. I must be giving her a little break here. She's still head tossing though, and that's pretty much because I'm asking her to do something that she doesn't want to. She did have probably close to 3 months off, maybe a little bit more than that. She was getting pretty tender towards the end of this year. She'd been working pretty hard. Let's see what we have here. I think I'm going to go in for a one rein stop. And that didn't really go too well. Basically what I'm trying to do, because she does not like to have her mouth touched, is to get her to slow down and stop with the one rein when I use my voice and take my legs off of her. And then I'm going to introduce the second rein as lightly as possible and try to keep her nose down for it. She has a tendency to basically just stick her head right up in the air the minute her mouth gets touched. That wasn't great. I think I'm going to back her up here in an attempt to get her to collect herself. She does know how to back very well. She is just being stubborn right now. I think on the next ride I might throw a leverage bit, something ported in there to help aid me get her head down, give her something that gives her a little bit of pressure back when she starts tossing her face around. I've been sticking in the snaffle for a while. She has a hard time with the lateral work with the curb bit yet. She tries to turn everything into a backup. So I figured we'd go back to a snaffle for a bit and try and clarify it, and that's about the time that I pulled her out of work. Now the reason I pulled her out of work is because when I did start using spurs to get her to stop leaning on my inside leg, which she's horrible about, and to try and get a little bit of speed and motivation in her basically her spins and her backups. She just was not having it at all. She'd throw temper tantrums, bounce around. You'll get to see a little bit of that later on. She does do some of it today. But yeah, she kept stepping on her coronary band, and it ended up getting her feet pretty sore. There were a couple bruises, a couple abscesses blew out. So I basically gave her a few months off to let anything severe there grow its way out and make sure it was all going to be set before I started putting her back into work. She did give a couple pony rides. She's great with children. She's given pony rides to autistic kids before. She loves them. This attitude only comes out when she's expected to perform. And I can guarantee this horse is not sore at this point. I check her over pretty regularly. I don't believe in running horses that are in pain. Some people will push it a little bit. If it's muscle soreness, I will work them lightly to keep the muscles stressed out. If it's anything joint or hoof related, we're going to wait for that to calm itself down before we start doing anything again, because that's just going to open a can of worms. If you keep using it, it's not going to get better like muscle soreness will. Let's see what we're doing here. Looks like we're doing more circles. That's basically what I do with my life on horses. Unless I'm out on the trail, we are probably doing circles somewhere. I don't claim to be a finish trainer. I don't do a lot of finish work. Basically, my main job around horses is generally green braking and behavioral issues. Pretty good at putting a nice foundation on them. I can get them nice and bomb-proof, walk, trot, canter. Little time I can put some lead changes on there. I don't, however, claim to be a finish trainer. Like I said, Maeve is being a good horse to help me hone those skills because I don't use them very much. I used to do eventing when I was younger. Once I started hitting, more close to puberty age and realized that those English were absolutely horrible, I switched over to Western and started moving more towards reining. And then I ended up on an Appy farm for a while, doing all the colt starting there, and that seemed to be what I was best at, so I kind of stuck with that. I did take a few years off from horses, worst years of my life. Definitely glad to be back involved with them now. But I am digressing. Let's go ahead and focus on this video here. And she's not being horrible right now. She's not really wanting to get her head down all the time. Just basically stay in a frame and get herself collected. A lot of this is the time off. She's definitely not in too good a shape anymore, so of course carrying herself is going to be a little bit more difficult for her. A lot of this will go away once she starts to get herself back into shape. I mean, her head's a little higher than I would like it as far as where her neck's set. She's getting decently vertical there. I'd like it if she held it longer, but like I said, she's going to need to muscle back up. And being that she is very heavy on the inside leg, she's going to have to come to terms with the fact that if she starts leaning on my leg, I'm going to give her a poke with the spurs. I tried to avoid doing it. I'm not big on using spurs if I don't have to. Probably because of the amount of time I've spent with young horses. It's just not something that regularly worked itself into my repertoire. But if you're going to be lazy and lean on me, and other things aren't working to get you off of it, I am going to put some spurs on. If you want to do that, you're going to get a poke till you figure it out. That was half decent right there. I'll take that. She doesn't really want to back up there. I think I'm going to give her, I'm going to lift my hands up and bring that nose in a bit and give her a couple tugs, let her know that I'm pretty serious. I'm not playing around with her today. As you can tell, that made her a little upset. She's got her giraffe neck on. She's definitely holding herself a little bit more English than I would like for this horse, but again, I'm going to take what I can get today at this point. If this horse really starts arguing with you too bad, you can expect it to get pretty shitty. Like I said, she bucked for a couple 3 months after I got her. She's almost gotten me off a few times. We have developed a pretty good rapport. I don't usually put people who aren't skilled on her and expect to get any work out of her because she is going to try and buck you off. Unless you can ride bucks out a little bit, if she can get you off, you better bet she's going to be doing it again. She was pushed pretty hard before I got her. They were trying to turn her into a barrel horse. I saw some of the training videos. There's a reason that she doesn't lunge. She's very, she gets pretty pissed off and will try and kick you if you go to smack her on the ass with a rope more than once. After seeing the video she was in, I kind of understand why. Right now, I'm trying to supple her up and keep her nose down as she brings it around. I don't like to do a lot of these standing exercises where you bend the neck. Yep, that nose came right back up there. I don't like to do a lot of the standing exercises if I can avoid doing them, just because you'll end up with a horse with a stiff body and a flexy neck. That looked pretty good there. Like I said, she's very good at backing, especially when she's primed herself up. What am I going to be doing here? I think I'm asking for a turn on the forehand. Now this is one motion that this horse is not used to. As you can tell, she's getting really upset with that. This brings me to another topic that comes up pretty frequently. I don't necessarily agree with this, so I understand how people got there. And that's basically telling people that their horses should be able to say no, or I'm not doing this today. When you tell your horse that it's okay to say no to you, and that they're not doing this today, and you respect that, the idea in their head goes is that they are now able to tell you no. Now, you need to listen to your horse. They're going to have opinions on things, and it's our job as trainers and riders to take those opinions into account. Now, I trust this horse out on the trail. If we're in some footing and it's icy or really muddy, and she's telling me that she's uncomfortable going that certain way, I'm probably not going to go that way because that's not a normal problem that I have with her. Now, if I'm riding this horse out in a trail and she tells me that she's not going across a stream, that's a problem that I do usually have with her. And she is going to go across that stream if I have to get off and drag her across it myself. Because if I don't do that, then she's learned that if she throws herself a little temper tantrum, that she's not going to have to do it. She's going to get to go back to her hay bale and relax in the field and not go across the stream or jump or whatever I'm asking her to, and then she's going to do it again next time. Like I said, I understand what they're getting at with your horse needs to be able to tell you no. I think it should be better phrased as your horse needs to be able to tell you when it feels uncomfortable or nervous, and you need to figure out what you can do to make that a little bit better. Up here, I think I'm going to start switching into some lateral work. We'll see, I'm off frame a bit. Apparently I need to get one of those stands that rotate and follow the motion around. Bear with me for a quick minute here. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Alright, so I'm just giving her a little prime. She's probably a little heavy on the back end. I'm trying to get her to supple herself up, get herself back under. See, must not have felt right to start right there. You can see she is very frustrated today. This is her normal tack and her normal bit. So I can tell you she's not uncomfortable. She's pretty used to this stuff. You'd be surprised how hard it is to find a semi-quarter horse saddle anywhere. She is a APHA. She's on the lighter bone side of it. Does have some withers, thank God. Bottom line is general paint working. The upside is inbred to impressive a lot. And I think that's where her tiny hooves and her little bit of an attitude comes from. However, Impressive himself has been known to throw some fairly athletic horses. They can be prima donnas, but I don't hate Impressive bred horses. I would rather not have them 9 times in 6 generations, but for the price I paid for her, I got a pretty good deal. And like I said, normally she's a really good horse. This is uncharacteristic for her. It's pretty much cold weather. She wants to do her own thing. Alright, we're getting into a little bit of a leg yield here, it looks like. Did not go very well. If I was bareback without spurs on, she would absolutely do this no problem. Let's see, I'm asking her to step over, and she is not doing it. I'm going to get after her a little bit here because I've had enough. She knows what I'm asking. She just wants to throw a temper tantrum, and I don't accept that. There's no justifiable cause for her to be upset right now other than I'm asking her to do something that she doesn't want to do. So we got her to step over there. I'm still not very pleased with her, but I'm going to trot it out and try and get her focusing on something else right now. If I overload her too much, she will completely shut down and I'm going to get nowhere with it. So we'll try a circle a couple times. As you can see, she's not doing horrible right now. She does, after she throws a little bit of a fit, sometimes she acts a lot better when she realizes that her BS is not going to be tolerated. And that goes right back to, I don't let my horses tell me no. And you can express an opinion that you're uncomfortable. I'll listen to it. I might even agree with it if the horse has a good reason to feel that way. If the horse doesn't understand what I'm talking about, then yeah, we're gonna go back, and I might have to take back a couple steps. You see here? Oh, that was very good, especially for her. She's not familiar with this motion. The last time I tried it was horrible. She had a pretty good temper tantrum. I got her leaning that way and taking a step or two, and then I decided to call it quits for the day. She's getting a little bit more willing now. See, I'm trying to get her to stand herself still a little bit and get into the bridle. I think I'm about to ask for a leg yield. Might be wrong on that. Yep, and again, that was really bad. I know this horse is capable of doing a lot better. At least she tried. And when she's having a day like this, if she even pretends to give me half of what I'm asking for, a lot of times I'll let it slide, because if I nitpick her hard enough, I'm really just not going to get anywhere. She's been rough-handed enough in her life that it's counterproductive to really hang on her after a certain point. Horses are fight or flight, and she is predominantly fight. One thing I do love about this horse is that dogs have barreled off porches out of yards before, and I can spin her around, she'll start chasing the dog. There's no fear in her, and she's tough. And she's tough to the point where sometimes I'd rather her be a little bit more expressive, because she does not like to tell you if she's starting to hurt. Yeah, I think I'm going to congratulate her there. There we go. That was one of the better ones that I've gotten out of her, and she came out of it with her head still somewhat down, somewhat vertical. She's frustrated, but she did it, and that's the important part. Within a few weeks, as long as I can keep riding with the weather that we have up here, most of this stuff will have gone away, and I'm sure she'll be acting like she did towards the end of summer, beginning of fall. Let's see what we're doing. I think I might be doing another, what am I asking for here? Turn on the haunch, or turn on the forehand? Yeah, she's not happy about this one. Try and leg yield her into it, and then switch and have her break loose with her hind end. She did there. It must not felt very good, in my opinion. I probably should have stopped right there and gave her a couple pets, let her relax. No, I ran out of rein. There we go. That was good. That was good. Again, I probably should have released right there, but I asked for one more. Sometimes, in order for horses to improve, I mean, you have to give the immediate release right when they're starting. But in order for them to improve and actually get better, you do have to start holding that longer and pushing them a little bit further. You know, that wasn't too bad. Too bad, we'll take that. She looks like a giraffe with her head in the air. But that'll start coming together once she's not getting wound up and knows what I'm asking out of her. So just about every time I touch the rein, she thinks I'm either asking her to back up, or she'd rather disengage her shoulder and start going for a spin. I believe towards the end of this video, I try and make sure that she is not confusing the two cues for them. She definitely has been, because she kept trying to disengage her rear end instead of her shoulders at that point. But that's all stuff that'll iron itself out. Like I said, that's newer, so I'm not going to nitpick it as hard as I would Something like backing up. I expect her to tuck her nose when she's backing up. I'm like some more speed in it too. I know she knows how to do it. See what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm asking her to break that shoulder loose, and it is not happening right now. She's getting pretty confused, and I think I just decided to not push it right there. I'll let her walk herself out a little bit. I am trying to keep her head somewhat framed up, and I want some collection out of that. I want her stepping forward. Other than that, I don't think I'm going to... Here we go. I'm going to start asking right here. And she's crossing over a little bit every couple of steps, but she's not really committed to it. I'm not going to push it too far right now. She's had her fair share of frustrations today already, so I'm going to take it pretty easy from here on out. We got a little head flip there. I'm surprised I didn't react a little bit more, because that bothers me. I must be pretty committed to try and getting her to settle back down right now. Well, she's not really doing what I'm asking her to per se. She's being willing enough. Her left side is her bad side with everything. One of the main reasons I started focusing on more stuff as far as getting me more control over her haunches is picking up her left-hand canter lead. It is an absolute battle. To the point she hates it. She will try and grab the bit and counter canter the other direction. I don't think anybody ever forced her to pick a correct lead going around a circle. Then it was getting better towards the end of this summer, but I was still not content with it. It was very erratic, so I sat there and tried to figure out some new techniques and stuff to get her to do it better. As this goes on, I will try and show them to you, and if those ones don't work, I'll go back to studying and I will find something that does. You can't quit, and you can't focus yourself too much in one place with certain techniques. Not every technique is going to work for every rider and every horse, and that's important to remember. If it doesn't work, figure something else out. Try something else. Talk to someone different. Y'all have a good day. Bye.